Welcome to the Ballers NBA Talk Update, February 17th, 2016. Yesterday, we had some trades go through in the National Basketball Association. Let's get to the first one. Brandon Jennings and Ersan Ilyasova headed to Orlando as the young 23-year-old forward Tobias Harris will make his way to the Motor City and join the Detroit Pistons. This is a deal that probably will help both sides in the long run. A lot of people ask why the Magic would trade Tobias Harris as they just signed him to a 4-year, pretty big contract in the offseason. As you recall, they were going after Paul Millsap. They ended up just re-signing Tobias Harris. They wanted to make a move. He probably wasn't producing at the level he was expected to. His numbers have dipped since last season. The Magic will now be getting, an experienced point guard in Brandon Jennings, who's in his late 20s. This is probably as good as he will get in his career. And Ersan Ilyasova, who will help them stretch the floor as a stretch four in their lineups, who can shoot the ball pretty well from the outside. Pretty underrated defender, but Brandon Jennings definitely is the bulk of this deal. He definitely brings them that up pace tempo that they probably have been looking for. Alfred Payton probably wasn't running the offense to Scott Skiles' liking, and Scott Skiles did coach Brandon Jennings and Ersan Ilyasova in Milwaukee previously, so definitely going to be interesting to see what goes on there, if there's any relationship or any kind of carryover from those Milwaukee days. The Pistons will be getting Tobias Harris, which I definitely think was an upgrade for them. They're looking to improve their power forward position, and Tobias Harris is definitely an under-the-radar player who can control the paint when he wants to. His numbers have dipped, but I think when you get him, stretching the floor with an Andre Drummond and a Reggie Jackson, I think he'll fit in well, and they have a nice young core moving on in the future, so definitely a win-win for Detroit and Orlando. All right, another deal that has been completed. This one is a 3-team deal between the Memphis Grizzlies, Miami Heat, and the Charlotte Hornets. The Grizzlies will be sending Courtney Lee to Charlotte, and the Grizzlies will be receiving P.J. Harrison and 2 second-round picks from both the Heat and the Grizzlies. And the Grizzlies will also receive Chris Anderson, otherwise known as the Birdman. And in this deal, the Miami Heat will just be receiving point guard Brian Roberts. So definitely not a blockbuster deal, but it definitely has some major implications. Coming from Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, the news that he'll be out for the season, the Hornets definitely want to make the playoffs, and they're currently in the 8th seed in the East. They definitely want to make a push for it, and losing Kidd-Gilchrist definitely does have, a major factor in this deal. Courtney Lee will give them wing scoring, great outside shooter, can take you off the dribble, some pull-up jump shots, can get to the rim when he wants to. Had some great moments in Memphis, won a couple game winners for them. Great deal. It's going to be interesting to see what else the Grizzlies have in store. Marc Gasol is out. Will they tank? Will they push for it? I think they understand they're not going to win anymore with Marc Gasol out, but maybe they can rebuild for next year with those picks. You notice they just got 4 second-round picks from both the Heat and the Hornets, respectively, giving them 2 each. P.J. Harrison will be sent to Memphis in this. He will definitely give the Grizzlies some defense. P.J. Harrison was starting for the Hornets before this deal went through. I don't think he's going to have as much as an impact on Memphis that Courtney Lee will have in Charlotte. But definitely it will be worth noting that he is going to have an impact in Memphis. It just might not be as significant as his impact in Charlotte. Brian Roberts, another guy, he'll be going to the Heat. The Heat, they definitely need some help at the point guard position behind Goran Dragic. Tyler Johnson and Bino Udrih have both, supplemented them pretty well. Brian Roberts will definitely, I don't think he's going to make a huge impact, but definitely probably will get some minutes now that Chris Bosh is now reportedly on blood thinners again. So we'll see what the status of that will be coming up pretty soon. And finally, Chris Birdman Anderson heads to Memphis. No surprise here that the Heat wanted to get rid of him. he was making about $4 or $5 million this season. Really a contract they did not want to have to pay the luxury taxes on, especially a team trying to get Kevin Durant in the upcoming summer. And I definitely think that the Grizzlies probably requested some kind of center from one of these teams. Birdman Anderson, I guess, is going to have to supplement that role. Whether he will start or not is yet to be seen. Great energy player. As a Grizzlies fan, I can gladly say that we have him filling in for Marc Gasol as the time being. But I definitely don't think that the Grizzlies will probably even make the playoffs now. That's just my opinion. The Hornets, I don't think they'll make the playoffs either. And unless Chris Bosh gets back, I would dare out and say that the Heat won't make it either. So hopefully one of these teams will impact from it. If I had to pick today, it would definitely be the Hornets impacting from Courtney Lee more than the Grizzlies or the Miami Heat. And that's all I have to say about that. Thank you for tuning in this week, and we'll catch you later.